one of the things I truly love about living in America is our freedom of speech laws, right? The fact that the First Amendment allows for so much discourse to be spoken aloud, so many people to have various, if even completely dumb fucked opinions. That's okay. We've all got them, myself included. But that being said, we have the protection of that amendment that allows us to have those kind of opinions and to espouse such nonsense that boneless is better than boned. Or reverse that, because I'm actually team boneless. But anyway, the point is we have free speech here in the United States, but it doesn't always happen everywhere, right? And especially in the UK. Now, I am talking about Lauren Southern and the fact that she was detained in the UK and effectively banned from the UK over what they deem to be racist activity, when in essence it's kind of just her exercising her ability to speak. Now, the UK has very, very, very different laws than the United States when it comes to these sort of things. But at the same time, Lauren is Canadian, where they have their own set of laws that are also kind of coming across a little bit draconian, especially under the reign of Justin Trudeau. And so it's kind of weird to be an American talking about a Canuck dealing with the Brits. Either way, this is one of those moments where, you know, hand over my heart, proud to be an American, where at least my speech is free. Unless I'm a conservative on a college campus, but we're going to be talking about that later. Anyway, Lauren Southern detained, banned from entering UK for racism. Look, I don't agree with a lot of what Lauren has to say when it comes to her views on these kind of issues, but I don't think she's a racist. I just think she has some dumb ideas. Canadian right-wing journalist and activist Lauren Southern said she was detained in the French port town of Calais on Sunday night by UK authorities under the Schedule 7 Anti-Terrorism Act, which allows law enforcement to stop, search, and interrogate those under reasonable suspicion of being involved in terrorism, accusing her of distribution of racist material. British immigration authorities ultimately banned her from entering the country. They don't really know what they've done, do they? When you sit there and you ban someone who looks like Lauren Southern, and I mean, let's be fair, she's an attractive young woman. All you're gonna do is make them more popular. Like, that's it. Like, it's when you ban someone for like having an opinion, regardless of how abhorrent that opinion is, all it does is make them more popular. All it does is put that giant spotlight on them. And considering that she has a documentary coming out here pretty soon and she could use the free publicity, I mean, like, she's only going to come out on top on this one. Only. Period. That's it. Southern made the claim via a series of tweets on Monday morning. The activist says she was on a bus traveling to England Sunday night in order to appear at a free speech event. There's a level of irony there that is just, I think, lost on mortal men. Border police, however, stopped her from entering the country, citing racism as their rationale and blocking her entry to the country. With her tweeting here, investigated me under Schedule 7 Terrorism Act because of alleged racism. At least they let me identify as Pakistani on my report, still being held by police. Now, if you don't know that little thing, in Canada, you can, in fact, if you want, go out and essentially claim that you are, in fact, she basically went to she is a legal male in the country of Canada right now. She is legally classified as a male. She did it as a troll job because in Canada you can, and she's used that against social justice warriors. And that is one of my favorite video clips where, like, this girl is yelling at her like, ah, she's like, I identify as a man. And she's like, oh, you do? She's like, yeah, I'm legally a man. And the woman goes like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And then, like, leaves. It's like, oh my God, oppression Olympics. Just, I mean, give her the gold, matches her hair. There we go. Now, here she is being kicked out of the country, saying they just locked me out and said au revoir. Officially banned from UK for racism. Doing fine, though. All the cool people are being banned anyway. Need to gather my thoughts and call family. Interrogation story is pretty crazy, though. We'll tell it soon. And then she goes on to say, hey, thanks for the support. Now, reporter Chris Tomlinson has been tracking the story, also claims here that another message from Lauren says she's being held in Calais. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Asked about her relationship with Brittany Pettibone at a recent speech she gave for VB John Gren, the youth movement. Now her phone has been taken away. No word on when she will be released. Now, this is a previous story that I didn't cover, but ultimately, Brittany Pettibone and her boyfriend, I think Martin Sellner, whatever his name is, they were detained yesterday in the UK. They had flown in. They were they were released yesterday. They'd been detained for a couple of days for very similar reasons. So the UK is straight up like, you know, saying like, if you are a conservative pundit on the internet, do not come here, right? And that is pretty freaky that that's happening. Now, Kate Hopkins, who is a political figure in the UK, I know she has an official title, I forget what it is, but she says here, Dear Amber Rudd HR, you've detained Lauren Southern and prevented her from entering UK. She is a Christian conservative. You have sided with the Islamists of Luton. You need to make better decisions. And it says here that this is the paper. Dear Lauren Cherie Southern, you have asked for leave to enter the United Kingdom as a visitor for up to 5 days. However, by your own admission on the 24th of February 2018, you were involved in the distribution of racist material in Luton. I believe your actions whilst in the United Kingdom present a threat to the fundamental interests of society and to the public policy of the United Kingdom. You have not sought entry under any other provisions under the immigration rules. I therefore refuse you to enter to the United Kingdom. And basically, yeah, just get the hell out, right? Now, she was traveling to the UK after producing a documentary about racial tensions in South Africa reaching a boiling point, escalated by a government that has increasingly embraced racially discriminatory practices, including the confiscation of white-owned farmland. Southern posted the trailer for the documentary as soon as she was released by authorities. As I said, this is the perfect time to pimp her documentary. And if you don't know what's going on with farmlands, essentially in South Africa, white farm workers or farm land owners are being like, they're having their land taken by the increasingly militant government down there. That's basically saying like, South Africa is our land, whites get the hell out. And so, yeah, but of course that's a very interesting crisis that we're seeing happening. And of course, no one is going to be talking about that at all because, you know, hey, honestly, why the hell would they? And then it does say here that Southern's banning follows a similar situation with Austrian right-wing identitarian activist Martin Sellner and journalist Brittany Pettibone, who were both detained for a few days before at London Heathrow and ultimately blocked from entering the country for similar charges. Yeah, they were. I mean, the thing is, like, look, here's the deal. Personally, I can't fucking stand identitarians. I can't. Like, their politics are dumb. They're just dumb. Like, I get what they're trying to say. I just, like, every time I see them and they get all uppity about their policies, I'm just like, look, just do the Sieg Heil and be done with it, is what it feels like to me. That's not ultimately true, but that's where I feel like it's going in some cases. So I'm not attacking them for their beliefs, but I feel like it gets a little out of hand from time to time. But still, they have a right to an opinion, and provided they're not calling for the violence or death of anybody, they're not calling for any kind of wanton destruction, let them have their freaking say. You know what I mean? Like, just let them have. I'm so tired of this nonsense. Now, the BBC did provide more information about what Schedule 7 is, saying under the schedule, UK police can stop, examine, and search passengers at ports, airports, and international rail terminals. Unlike with other police powers to stop and search, there is no requirement for an officer to have a reasonable suspicion that someone is involved with terrorism before they are stopped. So given all the trucks of peace that have happened in England as well as France and other places, you kind of can understand where this particular mindset's coming from. I mean, after 9/11, we got the Department of Homeland Security, right? So it's like you can see that kind of craziness come out of this. Now, it says a passenger can be held for questioning for up to 9 hours, and those detained must give the examining officer any information in his possession which the officer requests. Any property seized must be returned after 7 days, but data from mobile phones and laptops may be downloaded and retained by the police for longer. Yeah, I hate everything about that. Like, they want to peruse through. I get that. I understand that. But like, download it and like look for it later. It's like, nah, man. Nah. What if you got some lewds in there? That's not good. Those detained are compelled to answer questions from police and must not obstruct or frustrate any police searches. If someone fails to cooperate, they are deemed to have committed a criminal offense and could face up to 3 months in prison, fine, or both. And that's what the state of the UK right now. That's the state of the UK, where you've got Lauren Southern, who is just, you know, a 23-year-old journalist who likes to cause a bit of trouble. Activist. I'd call her more of an activist now than a journalist, if I'm being 100% fair. And she gets booted out of the UK. I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is I am just glad I live here in these United States where this is not a problem. Yet. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, thumbs it up, hit on that subscribe, check out 3 Buck Theater, check out Mundane Chats, or if you just want to help support the channel, the best way to do that is patreon.com/mundanemet, link below in the video description. Thank you guys again, have yourself a great day, and peace out.